Welcome to your magical moon message. This is the peace dealer. All right, moon in Taurus, sun in Taurus, Venus in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter in Taurus. This is it. A very nuclear new moon, a very charged new moon, setting and establishing a new precedent with this new moon, Mu, that's going to manifest a 12-year cycle of wealth and abundance. Now, wealth and abundance is not an honorific well, it's not a positive term when I say wealth and abundance. Like, yay, wealth and abundance. We're just talking about an increase, a surplus, an expansion of material, which we will call wealth. This could be a surplus in a right or wrong direction. And for some of you, this surplus will mean if you're not on a foundation that's solid, you will lose money. You will implode stuff so that you can build a new foundation. And then over the next 6 months, come into a lot of fucking money and harvest. The new moon that we're having right now is a 0-degree conjunction with the sun and moon that will subsequently with the sun begin, of course, a yearly conjunction with Uranus and then a yearly conjunction at the end of Taurus with Jupiter. The new moon being in a proximity with these two outer planets, with these two Titans, or one Olympian, one primordial, and then we have the Olympian Aphrodite is polishing the investments you've made, especially since last year with the nodes here. And let me give you the game plan, because you know we study the mathematics here. 0 degrees conjunction is you sowing the seeds. You are planting your magic beanstalk, and the science of this is outrageous. August, once we reach 90 degrees of the sun to the point that we actually had this new moon, or realistically, once we transit through Leo season and we have that new moon and full moon, but really the new moon, then the seeds that we planted now will begin to break through the ground, okay, on stage. And we can explain how that works, right? So we're going to have the sun conjunct Uranus and the sun conjunct Jupiter. When the sun squares Uranus and Leo, the seeds that we're planting now will grow through the ground. When the sun squares Jupiter and Gemini and Virgo, those evolution seeds will grow through the ground. The seeds we're planting, which represent solid structures with which in Gemini we can stand on those values to create talking points and spread the message that the square to Saturn will voraciously censor. All right, two people talking about what's happening in Palestine. The square to Gemini from Pisces will be two anti-Semites are talking bad about Israel. And I'm not for or against Israel. I'm just saying these are the ways in which censorship will be used, especially considering that while this rat beef was really huge, which was destined to happen, which was the North Nodal alignment and was going to happen anyway, was used as a distraction to pass a bill that has been in the talks to criticize, to penalize you, imprison you, get you in trouble for criticizing Israel. Okay. And when you learn that maybe certain funds, are putting money in government politicians here in both sides, maybe you might find that certain politicians are bought. But I mean, that's not new, and they're not the only organization doing it. And I'm not accusing any organization of doing anything, because we don't want to promote that anti-word, because that is bad. That is very bad. But I'm just using this as an example to let you know how shaky things are going to get once we get to Gemini season, and the foundation you are sowing the seeds for are going to harvest by November. So August is when that's going to break through the ground. Jupiter is going to be in Gemini, and now the activation of an expansion of ideas in Virgo season will produce analysis so that we can analyze these ideas, really break down what's real. That's going to break through the ground, and it's going to harvest. Everything this new moon is activating is going to harvest 180 degrees in November and in December. Scorpio and Sagittarius season. The sun in Scorpio opposite Uranus and the sun in Sag opposite Jupiter is what's going to harvest what we're starting now. 6-month cycle, checkpoint in 3 months. 2 weeks from now is going to be the initial harvest to bring us through the next 3 to 6 months. Just using these mathematical cycles and calculations is the basis for why everything that I've been calling is on point. When I was saying that we're going to prepare for war 6 months ago, and then Israel declared a state of war hours after, like a day or hours after, and then before the new moon in Aries, I said, hey, we're in wartime. And shortly after, Russia declared a state of war, hip hop war started. So you know, I'm just using the math. Like, I study the mathematics. You can let these people who don't know the difference between constellations and zodiac signs trick your brain and make you think that this is pseudoscience. You can make them think, you can let them make you think that, you know, none of this is real, even though they've never studied a natal chart in their life. Whoever wants to let their power be taken away, that's them. You're here watching this for a reason, and I'm here to serve. Okay, so that's the math, right? What you're activating now is one of the most potent, stacked stellium of activations we've had in a minute, outside of the Pisces season one, which was a god level and more collective narrative. So that is the 60-degree angle to this Pisces energy, and we are solidifying the grounding of beliefs that we've had 2 months ago. And now let's get into why this is a magic beanstalk. Venus and Mars conjuncted Pluto, as well as the Sun, at the end of Capricorn. 29 degrees Capricorn. Since 2008, where it entered Capricorn 0 degrees. And that's what you want to think about. Obama was elected 2008. All right, there's a huge cultural movement. It's happening again, guys. It's happening again, okay? At the highest level. The last time Pluto was here was 248 years ago. Do you see what picture I'm painting? So we had the potency, 29 degrees, max collective power, God power, awakening. Now you are individually manifesting that power through your 5 senses and body. It took 5 months to actually now download through Aquarius that knowledge from the hardware into the software through Pisces, direct your character through Aries, and now stand on these values. So the 0 degree conjunction that we had in the end of Capricorn, beginning of Aquarius, became the 90-degree square coming out of Aries through Taurus. And that 90-degree square, since a couple of months ago, broke through the ground the seeds we planted. Simultaneously, as we're breaking those awakening Pluto seeds to the ground, we're planting seeds in Taurus. This is your magic beanstalk. I'm trying to explain to you the phenomenon of planting magic seeds that instantly grow unconventionally. The expansion of Jupiter, the expansion of Uranus is what's going to, the innovation of Uranus and the expansion of Jupiter is what's going to expand the quality of this new moon in much greater quality. Since 12 years ago, the last time Jupiter was in Taurus. We have not really had a Taurus season this stacked in a while. And the Jupiter Gemini about to be crazy. If you ever thought Geminis were crazy, you have not seen our final form. You fool. You finna see our final form. Anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. Because when you silence and suppress and you try and regulate and control, we're just going to talk more. So it is what it is. You're going to have to kill us. And we've seen what happened in Tiananmen Square. So it is what it is. Don't think we're going to be afraid of tanks or whatever. And don't think it'll happen all at once. These things, of course, gradually awaken people now that Pluto was awakening people. And the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, France took their guillotines out, beheaded monarchs. Haiti had its revolution, killed a lot of people. Russia had its revolution. A lot of people were died and killed. America didn't want taxation without representation. I think you know where I'm going with this. If you want to take the Pluto transit before that, that was Protestantism and inquisitions, bloodshed. So this is what is really interesting here, because this is the first Pluto Aquarius we've had with an integrated internet and web that can actually relay messages at the snap of a button and maybe open up the opportunity for us to have public discourse in a real-time way that doesn't involve violence, bloodshed, and mass extinction events. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be warfare and blood. But this is the only chance we have now to do things amicably. Although the past 4 years have shown us that if we're not able to get together and resolve differences and meet this, they're just going to manipulate us. And I mean, that's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. But let me not just say that. I want to have hope. We have a whole new generation of children born after 1995. They're going to create the new world with supernatural abilities. And, you know, I got my money on them. And TikTok, the forces that are trying to buy TikTok, yeah, they said the left and the right isn't the issue, it's the young generation. So the Pluto Sagittarius, there's a target on you. All right, they don't like the fact that you're not being manipulated and you're using your fire to speak your voice about free. And yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that. That conversation was leaked. So they didn't even want you to know about that. So it's shifting the issue between left and right to old and young. All right, which is, which is going to be a huge forefront moving forward, the fire of the youth. And so just keep that in mind. This new moon in Taurus is going to really make you aware and understand of your natural value and what you're willing to invest in and plant and sow the seeds for. Because whatever it is you are investing in, crypto stocks, whether it goes up and down, we are seeing a predictable expansion in an unconventional way. I'm not saying that anything that you choose to invest in will. This is where discernment comes in with the sextile of Saturn and Pisces, the integrity of beliefs you have that will steer you in the right direction through Aries so that you can plant proper seeds. And Taurissimo, because Taurus is no longer Taurus. After this new moon, they're debuting Taurissimo. They got too much money and swag now. I'm not saying that all of their heads are too big, but these were already naturally grounded, smooth people. And when you evolve them unconventionally to the next level, and now they have fur coats around their neck, and now they have diamond rings on their finger, don't fuck with Taurus. They're not Taurus. And I'm telling you, they're Taurissimo. Like it's gonna catch some of you guys off guard because Taurus was already a little bougie. Now they're about to be like extra bougie, and they're gonna back it up. I'm not saying they're bougie for no reason. This is Taurus. This is Taurissimo. All right, they got the goods. I'm just saying, and borrowing in that spirit, you have a Taurissimo in you as well. And it's time to bring that out. Whatever house that it is in your chart is where you want to focus on investments, whether 8th house, other people's resources and shared resources, whether 7th house, relationships with other people, 10th house, your career, or 1st house, your embodiment. This is where you expect to see the most growth over the next 6 months to 6 years, when Jupiter now makes it a year through each sign opposite. So this is some people in beginning to learn astrology, some people say, oh, this transit is happening today, it's supposed to happen today, when depending on the angle, most really just let you know when you're planting the seeds versus when they're breaking through. Opposition is going to notice beginning of completion before the 270-degree square or 10th house aspect, which is completion of harvest. And don't worry, the Astro 101 courses is coming soon, because once you see this, bro, like life opens up to you. Like you literally start to see the universe speaking to you through these patterns and signals, which now if you use logic, and the only people who are telling you that this isn't true have never practiced a natal chart, don't have experience, and don't know their moon sign. Disinformation. Why do they want to take away your power? Why do they want to disillusion you from what they can't manipulate, you can interpret for yourself? Really contemplate the value of what you bring to the table. Be prepared to invest in that fully. Bet on yourself fully. North Node in Aries means if there was ever a time to bet on yourself, it's now. And the only way you'll lose is because you lack integrity and you're inauthentic. And a lot of people can blow gas and smoke up their face and feel like they're the realest person until they get chopped down to size. We're seeing it happen with 69 God right here. Okay. Whether you believe the allegations or not, people are focusing too much on that, when really the whole point of that was to just expose nature of character. Do I think these people need to be canceled? It depends on what evidence comes out. But what's put out in the air is put out in the air, and Gemini is the first air sign, and we have a lot to talk about over the next 30 days. And I think it's going to be very extravagant, very amazing. So make a wish. I'm going to do, of course, the new moon ceremony at 8 p.m. PST, when we're going to have the new moon exact, so that all of us can set the intention together and we can stack on this affirmation. So this is the affirmation we're going to use, and then you can add anything on that, and I will provide the tools with which you can see results immediately within the next 48 hours, if not 24. So there's no excuses here. The affirmation we're going to use is, are you ready? I have an unlimited amount of anything. Taurissimo. How bougie would you feel if you didn't need anything? Like, you have anything you want coming from you. I have an unlimited amount of anything. And once we step into Gemini season, we'll start to take that information and put it in our conversation. Oh yeah, I had an amazing day last night. I have everything that I want. But until then, just focus on that. Feel that. What is it like to sensually grasp through your imagination, thoughts, and feelings that you have an unlimited amount of anything? And any doubt that crops out, kick its ass. Jump it with positivity if you need to, and just focus and commit. And yeah, join us for the ceremony where I'll go into the process over the next 2 weeks. And why this is the one. This is the one. This is the new moon, y'all. This is what's also going to manifest unconventionally and awaken natural abilities to ground and manifest your superpowers through your body. Gemini season is going to be us practicing and learning new magic abilities based on this awakening.